Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Stay firm. Sending that right foot back. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. This week we are going to do a class focusing on wrist stretching and strengthening to help us hold our planks or our down dogs longer. It's also very nice after a day of working at a computer to be able to stretch them out again. Let's begin on all fours on our mat. Finding a nice tabletop, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We can start with the wrists a little bit further out in front of the shoulders. It takes some of the angle out of the wrists and makes it a little gentler. We're just gonna start by hanging out here for a little bit, finding a little sway side to side, maybe forward and back, just very gently moving the wrists and moving through the body. Pressing down into our wrists and our knees. With our inhale, we'll take the eyes and the tailbone up, dropping the stomach towards the mat. Exhale, curling in towards center, arching up through the spine, moving back and forth with our cat and cow. Walk the hands in towards the body so we can sit up on the heels, bringing the hands together in a prayer position. We're going to turn the fingertips towards our body and gently press the hands together. Turning the hands up towards the ceiling and pressing a little bit harder together. And then turning the hands all the way down. You might have to pull the arms in towards the body to do it. And again, pressing through the wrists, pressing through the fingertips. Releasing, and we'll wiggle out the wrists, circling them out one way and the other. Coming back to our tabletop, we're going to find a little bit of a forward and back shift. Keeping in mind that the closer the hands are to the body here, the larger the stretch you can get as we shift forward, and the more weight you can keep in the legs. So wherever feels right to you. Coming back towards our tabletop, we're gonna pick our pointer fingers up off the mat and set them back down. Doing this a few times, picking up and back down. Now our middle finger, same thing, picking up, putting back down. Pressing down with the fingertips of the other fingers. Ring finger, same thing, up and back down. And pinky finger. Trying to keep it going straight up and down, not out to the side as we lift it. And last but not least, picking the thumb up and setting it back down. And setting them back down. Taking the hands one step further out in front of the body, we'll tent up onto the fingertips, kind of making like spider legs with the fingers. So pressing down with the ends of the fingers, tucking the toes under, pressing the hips up and back, down dog. We'll wiggle out through the legs here. And then take the left leg to the top of the mat. Full breath in. Even larger breath back out, pressing down through the feet. Inhale, taking the arms up to the ceiling. We'll bring the arms back around us, putting fingertips together. We're going to try and do a prayer position behind the back. If you can't quite get palms together, that's okay. Pressing the fingertips together if we can't. So we're pulling long across the front of the chest, pulling the shoulder blades into the spine to get the hands back there for our warrior one. With our next inhale, releasing the arms, taking them back up to the ceiling, we'll cartwheel open towards our side for our warrior two. From here, we're going to turn the palms up and down, rotating through the wrists. Extending out through our left leg, sending the hips back behind us, and finding a side angle. Inhale, floating the body back up. We'll pick up the left toes, wiggle them out, and turn them to match the right toes. Finding our goddess pose here. Tucking the tailbone under, coming straight down, and taking the hands up to a cactus. Spreading those fingertips out nice and wide. Bringing the hands in towards our prayer, and we're going to press the hands together. Taking the arms out to our T. And like we were doing with our warrior two, we're going to flip the palms up and down. Extending out through the legs, opening through the arms, wiggling out the wrists, finding a star pose. And with our exhale, hinging at the waist, forward fold. Walking the feet a little further apart so we can drop the hands down to the floor. We're going to slightly shift forward and back some more. Heel toeing the feet in about half the distance. We'll tuck the tailbone down, finding a yoga squat. Using the elbows to press the knees a little further apart and tenting the fingertips, pressing into the fingers. Sending the tailbone back up to the ceiling, heel toeing in the rest of the way. Forward fold. Dropping the top of the head towards the mat. We'll shake the head yes and no. Wiggling out through the upper body, allowing ourselves to hang. Putting quite a bit of a bend to the legs. We're gonna take the hands, palm up towards the face, tuck them underneath the feet. Releasing the hands from under the feet. Inhale, finding a half high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reaching tall to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reaching tall to the ceiling. Exhale, bringing hands heart center. We are going to turn the hands so the tops of the hands are pressed together instead of the palms, and the fingertips are pointed down. Gently pressing, maybe pulling those elbows a little closer to the floor. Slowly releasing. Taking the left hand out in front, our right hand will come to the fingertips. And pull them back gently. Switching hands, right arm out in front, left hand pulls back on the fingertips. And releasing back down, we'll make our way to the top of the mat with an inhale, reaching tall to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half high. Exhale, fold, planting the hands down, stepping the feet back. Finding our plank pose here. So if your wrists are tired, we'll step them out a little bit further, getting rid of part of that angle. We can also drop the knees down here. Dropping the knees down, walking the hands back into our table. Inhale, taking the eyes and the tailbone up, dropping the stomach. Exhale, arching through the spine, curling into center. Back and forth through our cat-cows. Walking the hands in towards the body, sitting on the heels. We'll take the hands beside the body, taking the tops of the hands down to the mat. Gently pulling the forearms in closer to the body and keeping the elbows or the insides of the elbows pointed in towards the body. Flipping the hands over so the palms are facing down, and we'll shift forward. This time keeping the insides of the elbows pointed in towards each other. And taking the hands that other step out in front. This time, fingertips will point away from the body out towards the sides of our mat. And we'll find a little bit of a sway side to side. Flipping the hands so the fingertips point in towards the center of our mat, towards each other. Keeping the insides of the elbows pulled in, also facing each other. And we'll continue to shift side to side. We'll take the hands one step further out in front of the body, pressing down with the fingertips, tucking the toes under, and back to our plank. We'll shift forward, chaturanga to lower. Inhale to a cobra, pulling the elbows in tight to the body, softening forward, tucking the toes, pressing up and back, down dog. Wiggling out through the legs some more. And our right leg will step to the top of our mat. Full breath in. Even larger breath back out. Pressing through the feet. Inhale, warrior one. Taking the arms back behind us. Finding our reverse prayer. Pulling the shoulder blades back and in towards each other. With an inhale, taking the arms back up, and we'll cartwheel open to our warrior two. Turning the palms up to the ceiling and back down. Extending out through our right leg, sending the hips back, reaching out in front, and finding a side angle. With an inhale, floating the body back up, we'll pick up our front toes, bringing them in, heels in towards center, toes pointed out, tucking the tailbone, dropping straight down, finding our cactus. Bringing hands in towards our prayer, pressing the hands against each other. Taking the arms back out to a T, and like before, flipping the palms up and back down. Extending out through the legs, opening through the arms, wiggling out through the fingertips, star pose. With our exhale, swan diving forward, wide-legged forward fold. Nodding the head yes. Shaking the head no, releasing out the upper body, allowing ourselves to hang. We'll take the hands one step further away from the body, pressing into those fingertips, shifting our weight forward into the hands, and then back into the legs, seeing if we can keep the heels down the whole time, stretching the backs of the legs and then the insides of the legs, as well as adding weight to the wrists. Walk the hands that one step closer in towards the body, heel toeing in about half of the way. Dropping the tailbone, finding our squat. Sending the tailbone back up to the ceiling, heel toeing in the rest of the way for our forward fold. We'll slide the hands under the feet again, gently pressing down through the toes, putting as much bend to the knees here as you like or need. Releasing the hands out from under the feet. Inhale, half high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reaching tall to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reaching to the ceiling. Exhale, hands heart center. Thank you so much for joining me for another week of yoga. I hope you found this useful. Keep in mind that, like all muscles of the body, the more we stretch them, the more weight we add to them, the better they're going to be equipped to do this kind of work. We can't do one class to strengthen and stretch in the wrists and go into doing 108 sun salutations on New Year's Day and not expect some wrist pain. So just like any other muscle in the body, we have to continue to work on stretching, lengthening, and strengthening. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always such a joy and an honor to get to spend this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and have a great week. Go in love and light. Namaste.